Hello everyone, welcome back. We're doing another Sims 4 speed build today, but before we get into that, I am obligated to tell you that I have received some of the pack codes for free from the EA Creator Network. However, I have bought a lot of the packs myself because I really do love this game. So, that out of the way, let's get into the speed build. Today is the very green house for the very color series, and I wanted to do a greenhouse for the green house. I struggled with this one though, I'm gonna be honest. I was starting to feel a little bit creatively blocked, and I could not decide. I knew I didn't want to do another farm, and I thought doing an island inspired build would not be a good idea right after doing the yellow house, which was in Sulani, which doesn't make much sense now that I think about it, but I mentioned that in the video. I was going for modern Airbnb on an island, like private island getaway type of thing. It didn't work very well, and yellow does not lend itself to modern very well at all. The house itself is fine. I love the house. If I had to do it over again, I would not do it in yellow, and I would not put it in Sulani. I would put it somewhere else that it fit better in, and I would probably do it in like black and white or brown, beige and white, or something more, some kind of more modern color scheme. But the whole point of this is to do things outside of the comfort zone and kind of force things into the one color. And I have nothing to say for myself. The yellow house is a great house. It's just yellow and modern, in my opinion, don't go well together. And it didn't work on the island very well. And I didn't want to make that same mistake on this one. So I also, again, didn't want to do another island to build. So I felt like I really only had kind of one choice if I wanted to incorporate a greenhouse, and that was kind of go the eco lifestyle route. But I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know why, I'm just not feeling it lately. The eco lifestyle, like container house type thing, whatever you want to call it. I just am not feeling it right now, and so I was kind of procrastinating until I saw someone building with these greenhouse windows in the green swatch, and I'm like, what am I doing? There are other styles out there that would go really, really well with a dark green color. Specifically, this sort of old stone house, spooky house, kind of life and death style thing goes really well with the green. And so, literally at 8 o'clock last night, I started building, and I finished at 10:30 this morning. And I'm trying to record the voiceover really, really fast here so I could get this uploaded before, because I had a video go up late once last week, and I don't like doing that if I can at all help it. So if I'm gonna get it uploaded and be able to publish it by 2 o'clock, I really needed to finish. In the end, it turned out fine because it turned out great. I think it's a great little stone house in the forest. I didn't build it in Ravenwood because the only currently free lot was, and I guess it didn't have to be a free lot, but that's just, no, I guess I haven't done only free lots, have I? The orange one in Oasis Springs was not built on a free empty lot. It was built on a lot that had a different house on it. I don't know. Well, number one, this is a 50 by 40, and I did not want to do a huge lot, but I also didn't want it to be on a super small lot either, because I wanted to do the forest around it. I guess also my mind was thinking about a conversation that comes up every now and again on Twitter where the expansion packs don't feel like they're expanding the game sometimes. They feel like this is my wording, not other people's wording. Other people just simply say stuff like, it's annoying that we don't get at least a few stray cats and dogs in other worlds. They're just in Brindleton Bay. It's weird that we don't get the bugs from Outdoor Retreat in other worlds. Like, I agree. It's like some of the expansion packs are like just adding mini games into the greater Sims 4, you know what I mean? Because they keep them very separate. It would have been great if they would have added bugs. They didn't have to add them to every world. Like, no, you probably wouldn't find the Outdoor Retreat bugs hanging out in San Myshuno except maybe at the Central Park. But what is it called? Is it actually Central Park? I just call it that because that's what it reminds me of. But no, you wouldn't find them probably even there at the park in San Myshuno. But you would possibly find at least some of them possibly in like Moonwood Mill or Copperdale or even Willow Creek, you know? And as for the stray cats and dogs, you would probably find a lot of stray cats at least wandering around Willow Creek, and you could even find a stray dog here and there wandering around San Myshuno. Like, I agree that I wish they would have incorporated those little features throughout the game more. Kind of like they did with seasons where they didn't include a new world. Yes, it's great getting new worlds sometimes, but it's also great when all the stuff is incorporated into the rest of the game too. And with seasons, they didn't worry about building a new world. Rather, they added the things from seasons into some, if not most. No, I think it's only the base game worlds, now that I think about it. But it would have been great to have, you know, I get why certain things only show up in certain places, but it would have been great for Henford on Bagley to have the seasonal kiosks, food kiosks, show up here and there, like in the non-lot park areas, to just have a random food kiosk for the season show up there. I get why they wouldn't necessarily add the roller rink or the ice skating rink, but the food kiosks, like, those I feel like are fairly universal, right? Am I wrong about that? Maybe that's an American thing and I just don't know. But I feel like it's something that should show up in other worlds, not just the base game worlds, you know? And, but they did, instead of making a new world and having the stuff only show up there, they did incorporate that stuff into several of the worlds, or some of the worlds, and that's the way I prefer it to be done. The previous games did it that way. It's only been since we got The Sims 4 that, like, okay, in the previous games you did get a new world with the expansion packs. Absolutely, you did. But each expansion pack was also by default included in all the other worlds, because technically speaking, your Sims couldn't just freely visit all of the worlds in the game. they could move. I think in The Sims 3, was it? They could move. And if I'm remembering correctly, which you can correct me on because I could be remembering this correctly, when they initially added the option, because it wasn't there from the very beginning, but when they initially added the option to move to another world, you would lose all your relationships when you did that. And then I feel like at some point they also added the ability to call other worlds and possibly keep your relationships. I could be remembering that wrong now that I'm thinking about that, but I feel like it's possible that they added that. But for the most part, the game wasn't focused on you moving between worlds like this one is. And yeah, back then it made sense to have worlds themed around the pack that your Sims could live in, but also it made sense that all of the new packs were just by default incorporated into every world, so that you could experience every pack from any world, you know? And now it feels very, each world feels very heavily themey and just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe what I'm saying, but I think you get the idea. With the lack of stray cats or stray dogs, with the lack of bugs, with the lack of other various things from expansion packs that I can't remember at the moment. Except townies. The townies will go anywhere. You can see townies from Sulani wandering around in Mount Komorebi, which why can't they do that with the bugs and the cats and the dogs? The only way to get stray cats and dogs is to have them enabled on a specific lot, which is annoying because then it takes up those slots and you can't put much of anything else there. But also, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. I just wish they would give us the option, anyways, to incorporate stuff. And that, by the way, because in that whole long explanation, I totally forgot what it was. What my point was of telling you that, but it did remind me of something else. That's partly why I'm doing the all packs save file, so that all of the packs are incorporated into all of the worlds. I am doing a base game save file too. I just didn't separate those videos out. I could go back through and put those in their own playlist so you can see them as well. And I probably will do that one of these days here when I remember to. But yeah, the reason I started the all pack save file was because it bothers me that there isn't a lot of crossover with the pack worlds. Like, all the houses in each pack's world all look basically the same because they're just using the base game and that pack, which is fine. I get it, because when you're releasing a pack, you kind of have no choice but to do that. But with world things, like neighborhood things, like decorative things and things like the bugs and stuff, you can add them into other places. I don't think we can even do that with debug though, but even if they just gave us the option to do that in debug or neighborhood stories or something, that would be so nice to make the entire game feel more cohesive, you know? Even if the builds in each world are significantly different from one another and very, branded for that world, I guess you would say, it would still make it better to incorporate the littler details that make everything cohesive. I don't know where I was going with that. I totally forgot. And I'm working down to the last minutes here. I have about 10 minutes. I still have over 20 minutes worth of recording to do, and I only have about 10 minutes before I run out of time to get this video exported and uploaded. I was not feeling well, and I have not been sleeping more than 4 or 5 hours at a time lately, but I really was not feeling well the last couple of days, so I'm now running behind. I used up all my footage, and I even put my other channels on hold so that I could focus just on this channel while I was sick, and I still ran out of content. Which is fine because I promised someone back when I was still using Facebook regularly, which I really don't do anymore. So if you're looking to get a hold of me or talk to me or whatever, I don't really do Facebook at all anymore. Your best bets would be to find me at Twitter or Blue Sky, honestly, because those are the only two places. I don't do Threads. Like Facebook, I just upload my updates and stuff to Threads, but I don't actually spend any time at Threads. Because there are so many angry people on there, just angry about everything all the time and constantly fighting. It reminds me of just another Facebook and Twitter, honestly. Whereas Blue Sky doesn't yet remind me of Twitter and Facebook. So, but it is fairly quiet also on Blue Sky. So there's not much to do over there yet. That's just yet. I'm sure it'll keep growing as time goes on. But most people hang out at Twitter still, so that's probably your easiest place to get a hold of me is Twitter. But Blue Sky would be the second place. But anyways, I did promise someone back when I was still on using Facebook, even just semi-regularly, to do a Sims 3 build. And now that I've gotten through all the footage that I had, I can work on that Sims 3 build. It actually takes me longer to edit videos, generally speaking, than it does to record them, generally speaking. Sometimes the speed builds are flipped. Sometimes the speed builds take longer to do than the editing process for them, depending on how involved I get. Like this one, I'm leaving it kind of long because I'm running out of time, and it's just way faster to just record an extra long voiceover than it is to try to edit out every single little pause and all that other stuff. So I just sped it up as fast as I could without discombobulating my brain, and I'm cutting out the big long pauses that I run into as I'm doing the voiceover. But aside from that, I'm leaving a lot of the stuff in because I just don't have time. So in this case, the speed build is going to be shorter to edit than the build was to build, but generally speaking, it takes a lot longer to edit the videos than it does to build the houses or record the Let's Play episode or whatever. So while I'm able to go through and just build up a ton of footage for stuff, it still takes me forever to edit and get that stuff up, generally speaking. So, yeah, but now I'm at a point where I'm pretty much caught up and I'm doing things, obviously, as I am editing and uploading them. So, I have the moments now to just go in and do that Sims 3 build and maybe try my hand at a couple of more Sims 2 or Sims 1 builds. I'm thinking about maybe trying my hand at something I've seen other Simmers do over the years, and that is try to make the same. I initially started this when we had the 25th anniversary stuff. I was trying to make very similar houses in the original Sims 2 and Sims 3, just to try out my building skills and to show you the building process and whatever. But I wasn't purposely setting out with it in mind of doing the exact same house in all 4 games. And I might do that. I'm thinking late this summer or early in the fall. I might try my hand at that, but it's really hard. I've seen other people do it, and some of them can do it really well, and some of them struggle. I think I'm gonna be a struggler. I think I'm gonna be a major struggler, but I'm gonna try it anyways. But anyways, I am really struggling with the end of this video here. I mean, we're pretty close to the end of the speed build part, but apparently I paused a lot more than I remember pausing. Some of it was because I was getting frustrated. There's no artwork in this game. At least it feels like there's no artwork sometimes. There just needs to be more artwork in general. More paintings, more old-fashioned paintings, more modern paintings, more wall decor, more paintings, more framed posters, not just posters stuck on walls, but framed posters, more variation in frames and framed art, and more kids art, more antique art. There just needs to be more wall art decorations in general. If I were to ever download custom content, it would be for that. In fact, I am so annoyed that I am thinking of playing a sim off camera, although if you'd rather see it on camera, I can do that too. But I'm thinking about doing a sim off camera that is a painter, because I think you can frame the canvases they paint, right? Like, you only get one frame. It's always the same frame, but at least it's a framed canvas. But it would definitely give us more artwork to play with. But I'm thinking of playing through an artist sim who can just do tons and tons of different paintings that I would upload as a art gallery or art museum type build to my gallery page, so that we all of us, for you guys as well, but also for me to use in my builds, have more artwork to choose from. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I think I would do it in a few different uploads. I would do one massive art gallery, because that would just be fun to do a big art gallery with this one sim, probably Grace or Deja. Do all of their art in one, like, full gallery. Also photographs of different sizes and stuff, framed and put in the art gallery. But then I would also upload individual rooms with themed art pieces in them. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But anyways, we're almost done with the speed build part here. Just a few more things to place, and then we can get to the walkthrough. I did do the bathrooms off camera, just to let you know, because I was tired and I just wanted to get them done really quickly, and I don't care about bathrooms when they're small like this. Like, in bigger houses where the bathrooms are big, I care, but in these I don't. Anyways, let's get to that walkthrough now. Okay, so here we are entering the spooky, rusty old front gates. I know it's the wrong time of year for this, but I don't care. And just giving you a little look at the front there. And then we'll head inside the living room, parlor. whatever, the sitting room. Sitting room, that's what this would be called, the sitting room. Just taking a good look, always hitting the wrong buttons. Anyways, move into the hallway here. You get a little peek at my favorite room. I'm so excited to show it to you. But first, we'll go to the bathroom. Nothing special, a bathroom. Then the dining room, just a place to eat. It's too small to do anything super special with, so we'll head out here to the backyard. Again, there's the forest, and then there is the back gate, which leads out to a pond in the back, a gross, scummy old pond, just kind of sitting there collecting mud and leaves and stuff. I thought it was fitting. I thought it worked well with this build. Then we'll go back in and we'll go around to the kitchen. Pretty decent kitchen for a small house like this, if I do say so myself. At first, I forgot when I came back into the game this morning to do the kitchen, I started doing black because I forgot it was supposed to be green. So I had to change that. But this is my favorite room. The best room in the whole house. It's a little bit harder to see during the day with the sun shining through the glass roof, but this is the Four Seasons room, the greenhouse, whatever you want to call it. You get a view of the outside there all the way around. Lots of plants. We're going to have some decorative plants that have to be taken care of soon. I can see incorporating that into this room there. That's going to be so fun. So we will go upstairs now. The hallway is nothing special. I just put a picture there because the walls were all blank otherwise. So we'll head into the parents' bedroom. I didn't have a lot of artwork choices, so this is what we get. But I did put a vanity in there because I thought this would be the perfect room for that. So I put a vanity there. It's a big room, so it had plenty of space for it. And then here is the bathroom. Nothing fancy again, just a bathroom. And then this is the kids' room. This is my second favorite room in the house. And because it's so big, I was able to fit a dollhouse in here. I was so excited. I don't get to play with the dollhouses very much because I build small bedrooms. And so it was exciting to get to put that in there. And I love that room. That's my second favorite room in the whole house. So there you have it. If you're enjoying this series, if you enjoyed this video or this build, if you're enjoying my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.